Space. The final frontier. These are the voyages of the starship.
How could this
Enterprise.
show get canceled after 3 seasons, like when we were flying to the moon and stuff? NASA was at full swing. And then it ended up being a cult classic. It's Star Trek. I'm Captain James T. Kirk, and Spock, you're not kissing Uhura, I am. Yeah, you right. Crescent City and beyond. Corey Johnson back at you. Thanks for joining us on a Thursday afternoon. Yes, it is Thursday. This is a weird week. Supposedly they had this thing called, Miss Peaches, am I pronouncing it right? Mardi Gras, something back on Tuesday. Some event. Supposedly a few hundred people showed up. It was in New Orleans. Anyway, yeah, it's Thursday already. Strange week with Mardi Gras and Valentine's Day and Ash Wednesday and Super Bowl Sunday. Good afternoon, everyone. Sleep time. Cloudy out there, a little overcast, but no rain. Isn't it weird, Miss Peaches? We're sort of our own meteorologists. We don't have to stick our finger in our mouth, lick the finger and stick it up in the air and see which way the wind's blowing. You can kind of tell, yeah, it's not going to rain. And it's not going to rain, you can tell. But it is cloudy and overcast. I think some novice from, say, Southern Cal, they might be like, it's going to rain. Very overcast, very cloudy, but no threat of rain. At least that's what this meteorologist thinks. And I'm not at all a meteorologist. Anyway, about 67 degrees. I put on this little vest gimmick thing just because the Buddy Diliberto River City's Total Maintenance Studios, I mean, we could call a meat processing plant, Miss Peaches, and be like, bring the carcasses in, just hang them from the ceiling on hooks, stack those boxes of meat or poultry right against the wall. It's like a refrigerator in here. We've got to keep the radio and television equipment cool, apparently. Anyway, so I have on this little vesty because I was like, I don't care if it's 67 outside in New Orleans. The Buddy Diliberto River City's Total Maintenance Studios could be 57. Anyway, it is colder in here than outside. 57, by the way, that's what we're looking at tomorrow morning. Then rain tomorrow afternoon and maybe a little Saturday morning, and then a cold front rolling in. Cold and sunny like Sunday through Wednesday of next week. Colder and sunny. Some you right weather. I'm pulling my David Letterman Fletcher Mackle early years. I'm doing the weather. We'll bust on Fletch tomorrow, Fridays with Fletch, about him doing weather in Alexandria early in his career. The Rex Zulu annual, I don't know if it's a dilemma, the normal routine, the problem, the expected delay, whatever. It heats up a little bit. It's kind of funny, just if you pull yourself away from Mardi Gras and that all of this is fantasy and these crews really aren't, it's not like real life in a way. It's like for fun. Rex is mad because Zulu's annual delay was much longer than usual, and Rex couldn't toast the Queen at the Hotel Intercontinental right there like at Poydras in St. Charles. Miss Peaches from Marrera is giving me a, oh, poor Rex look. I think a lot of folks have that attitude, but Rex, then if you do look at Mardi Gras and Rex, it's this traditional parade since the 1800s. Their king toasts the queen. It's like they're not saying, hey, New Orleans, at 10:46, according to our schedule, we got to be in front of the Hotel Intercontinental. They're just sort of like, hey, New Orleans, sometime between like 11:30 and 1 o'clock, can we toast the Queen in front of the Intercontinental? Can we have like an hour kind of gap? Your school zones certainly are long in the morning and afternoon. How about a little time here for us to toast our Queen? Zulu being on time, I think you have a better chance of turning left on Tulane Avenue, right? Zulu on time. You can't put that in the same sentence. The Zulu parade ran on time this morning. That's never been said ever. That's never, ever been said. Zulu has never run on time. They're always slow. They're all a breakdown or something. I mean, that's just Zulu. Running late all the time. But it's Mardi Gras, and it's like, am I even wearing a watch? So it's like, you could sit there and go, shrug your shoulders. I'm like, who cares if Zulu's running late? It's Mardi Gras Day. It's Zulu, one of the traditional parades. Let them do what they want, which is pretty much how it goes. Rex hit an oak tree branch, so that slowed them down a little. There were huge crowds, from what I understand, like Claiborne and Orleans, all up and down that corridor where Zulu's heading home, their home stretch, where it just slowed things down tremendously, plus lots of stops. Zulu is an interesting parade. Like most parades have a captain, and that captain kind of controls the parade. Zulu has 43 floats. Zulu has at least 43 captains. Like not one, like Rex has a captain that controls the parade. Some dude that can't drink, has to stay sober. And then Zulu is sort of just there, I think, just unorganized. If you go, gosh, Corey, that's crazy for you to say. 504-766-9480. Rouse's Markets phone line, 766-9480. 766-9480. I will say it, Zulu's a little unorganized. You have 43 captains. Zulu essentially is 43 mini parades within the one parade. Hey, there's Charlie's house, Jackson Avenue. Pull over. Pull over at Charlie's house. We'll go inside for a minute. Charlie's going to come out. We're going to come off the flow. Go talk to Charlie. Don't worry. We'll be here about 10 minutes. So Zulu's got 43 captains, not a single individual that like is a general that controls the parade. So you have Miss Peaches at one float, Corey at another. Hey, Miss Peaches, I'm stopping right now. I know you want to go. It's too bad. Stop. Going in here for a while. And there could be a huge gap. And then that guy catches up, but then Miss Peaches is stopping next. So you can keep the 43 captains of their float and all that, but I think Zulu needs like a general that is the number one guy that makes sure the parade sort of flows like as a parade, not huge gaps and all the delays and the like. It's an interesting dynamic, I think. Now, I've spoken in the last 24 hours to a few people that are either heavily involved in Rex, in the organization, or have worked with that organization, and the exact same thing with Zulu. Members of Zulu or people that are heavily involved with Zulu. Race never came up once. But with individuals I've spoken to in the last 24 hours, black and white, that aren't involved in Zulu or Rex at all, race came up. And I'm going with what the Rex and Zulu folks are telling me. And both are kind of on the same page. They talk about this situation just about every year. They've talked about flipping times. Like Rex go first, Zulu goes second. But this got a little out of hand yesterday, I think. There were, I don't know if this is verified or not, but supposedly some of those truck parades were rolling down St. Charles Avenue, coming off Napoleon onto St. Charles Avenue, and it was dark. It was dark. That seems unheard of. I never remember truck parades ever running when it was dark on St. Charles Avenue. Anyway, I don't know if I'm Rex. I say, hey, I couldn't toast the Queen. Maybe just, 2.5 hour delay or whatever it was. That's a little much. We can usually deal with the usual Zulu delay. This was out of control. What do you think? 766-9480. 766-9480. Corey Johnson. The Port of New Orleans is the gateway to global commerce, the economic engine that moves Louisiana and our country forward. For more than 125 years, Port Nola has continued to deliver the goods we use each and every day by river, rail, and by road. No matter what, it all happens right here, delivering Louisiana's future at the Port of New Orleans, your working river. Learn more about your Port of New Orleans. Visit portnola.com. There's a Middle Eastern restaurant that's less than 5 minutes from where Causeway and River Road meet, Lebanon's Cafe. Convenient to Old Metairie and Old Jefferson. Carrollton at Jeanette on the streetcar line, Lebanon's Cafe.
The Woodhouse Day Spa, with 5 area locations, New Orleans, Metairie, Slidell, Baton Rouge, and now Mandeville. A day of relaxation is just moments away at the Woodhouse Day Spa, woodhousespas.com.
Did you know Rouse's sells only Angus beef? Angus beef's natural marbling means more succulence and flavor. Whether you choose Rouse's USDA Prime, Choice, or Select, it'll be only Angus beef when you get it at Rouse's. Tastes like home.
Young's Dry Cleaning has free pickup and delivery. That's right. Young's Dry Cleaning has absolutely free pickup and delivery. Home or office, East Bank or West Bank. Call Young's at 288-8381 or online at youngsdrycleaning.com.
River City's total maintenance keeps you cool, New Orleans. NOLAAC.com is your cool spot.
Trey Yen in Mandeville, a New Orleans tradition for over 40 years, serving the finest Louisiana-inspired Chinese cuisine. Open Tuesday through Sunday. Trey Yen.
Ladies and gentlemen, in this Lamar Automotive Complex, there's something called Quick Lane. Tires, wheel alignments, struts, servicing your transmission. We're doing all makes and models. It doesn't have to have been purchased from us. It's for you. It handles your lifestyle with your budget in mind. And we want to get you in and out as quick as possible. Quick Lane, you got to come see it. You're going to love the experience right there at Williams Boulevard in Kenner.
Here at the NOLA Coalition, we love our kids and we love our city. The people of New Orleans are standing together for a better future. By harnessing our collective resources, the NOLA Coalition will create a safer, more prosperous city for all residents. Your support is needed to help reduce violence, invest in our children, and drive generational change. Join now at nolacoalition.info.
Why wear the same old glasses that everyone else is wearing? Stand out from the crowd. Come to Art and Eyes. Art and Eyes is not your typical eyeglasses store. It's one of the finest eyewear shops in the country, right here in New Orleans, with precision-engineered prescription lenses and gorgeous high-quality frames from the heart of Europe, Japan, and the United States. Our products are thoughtfully curated, and our staff are here to help you find exactly the right frames. Art and Eyes are magazine, as unique as you.
Ooh, Leidenheimer, that's what I said. Ooh, Leidenheimer, that's French for bread. Leidenheimer.
The French bread of the city of New Orleans. Good to the last crumb. Leidenheimer French bread.
Francesca Deli and Pizzeria has over 15 specialty sandwiches, a big 10-ounce burger, and some of the best pizza in New Orleans. Francesca Deli and Pizzeria on Harrison Avenue in Lakeview between Canal Boulevard and West End.
Dave Miette Insurance Agency. Auto, home, flood, business. 504-556-0809. Dave Miette, INSagency.com. Dave Miette Insurance Agency. Auto, home, flood, business. 504-556-0809. Dave Miette, INSagency.com.
Yeah, you right. Corey Johnson back at you. All I can do is pretend, Miss Peaches. I play no musical instruments, air guitar, air drums, air keyboard, and the like. This is my trumpet. Thumb in mouth, and then you just push the fingers down. And you know how you do the saxophone? Same thumb in mouth with like a trumpet, but then you just take this thumb and hook it to the elbow and move those fingers too, and that becomes the saxophone. Yep. All right. On the next edition of Sesame Street, Rex Zulu timing dilemma. No, these two organizations, traditional organizations, Zulu always runs late. It's funny. You would think both these parades could start at the exact same time. Zulu comes out of their den on Claiborne's, comes down Claiborne and heads up Jackson Avenue. Rex comes out of their den down Claiborne's to Napoleon Avenue. So Rex has to go a little stretch down Claiborne, up Napoleon, down St. Charles, through Louisiana, Washington, and then they hit Jackson. So, I mean, Rex probably has a good, 2 miles? 2 good miles of parade route in front of Zulu's route. Yet, just year in, year out, decade in, Zulu's just notoriously late. That's how they are. And I don't think, I thought kind of, man, there's probably some Zulu folks that are like, screw Rex. We're going to do whatever we want. But that's not the case. It never came up like that with anyone from Zulu. Not ever. People outside of Zulu and Rex assume that and thought things like that. Race was injected. But Zulu and Rex both integrated, both get along great, both work with each other, including on this. They discussed flip-flopping times, like, Rex, you go first, and then Zulu can go second. Zulu can take as long as they like. Doesn't matter. It'll just be the truck parades that may have to wait. But Rex is like, nah, we like our time going after Zulu. And Zulu was like, yeah, we kind of like our time going early in front of Rex. So both groups are kind of like, we don't want to flip-flop times. We don't want to flip-flop times. But Rex is a little upset. And, I mean, you can laugh and go, it's silly, who cares? But I'm saying you can. They couldn't toast their queen this year. Rex couldn't toast the queen by the Hotel Intercontinental because by the time they got there, it was so late. The queen and the court had left. They're getting ready for the ball, afternoon activities, whatever. So you can laugh and go, who cares about Rex? I hear you. I'm telling you to go ahead. Or you can go, Rex has been around since 18-something and just a minor little thing. It's like a toast at Gallier Hall. We'd like to get that done before 1 p.m. kind of. So it's sort of funny, and you kind of flip the switch, and then it's like, my God, Zulu. Is there any clock or any captain that's wearing a watch, or is it just a free-for-all? Love to hear from you. What's your take? Rex Zulu members, of course, you're welcome. Not Rex Zulu members. Anybody out there? 766-9480. 766-9480. There's no wrong answers. Corey, it's Mardi Gras, it's parades. Who cares? I mean, it could be that. Man, these are both traditional parades. They need to figure out a time schedule. It could be that. Whatever you think. 766-9480. Corey, I do not care. Rouse's Markets phone lines 504-766-9480. 766-9480. I would safely say there are a few things that are pretty locked and loaded. Zulu running on time is like it seems like an impossibility. It's like Zulu mirrors the city of New Orleans. He's not going to be on time. There's going to be a breakdown. There's going to be a slowdown. There's going to be something. I don't think Rex or Zulu, they kind of understand that. They have an understanding with that. Zulu's going to be a little late, sort of accepted by Rex. I think Zulu it's like how it is, and we're doing the best we can, and that's how it's going to be. I think when you have 43 floats with 43 captains, and it's sort of just a kind of I think a little unorganized in that regard. And you can call and correct me or agree or whatever, 504-766-9480. 504-766-9480. I think Zulu's a little unorganized. And then when you have 43 captains, like each captain of each float sort of doing whatever they want almost. It's almost 43 mini parades within the parade. Some captains are very passive. They just go along with the parade. Some are very proactive and are looking for a place to pull over and stop and toast someone or get out and get a sandwich or do this or do that, say hey to friends, do whatever. Jimmy, I'm going to pull up there and you're going to be the hero because I'm going to park the float in front of your spot for 10 minutes. Rex has stops. I had a trivia question. I think it went unanswered. For a $50 Woodhouse Day Spa gift certificate. St. Charles Avenue at Toledano. That neutral ground is all concrete, and there's no curb, and it's about 50 yards wide. Why? Why? It's only used once a year for that purpose. For just a few hours. Hint, hint, I mentioned in Zulu stopping. Rex has their spots where they stop and do a toast. 766-9480. Rex has one captain, essentially, one person, sober, controlling the parade. Zulu has 43. Some of them probably hammered. Some of them dead sober. Like I said, some are just kind of passive and just captain of their float, and their float's sort of passive. I mean, as passive as Zulu, Rex, any Mardi Gras crew is going to be. I'm talking comparing apples to apples. The other 42 Zulu captains. They're all different. They're all different people. Some make multiple stops. There's some captains going, there goes Jimmy again. My God, dude, how often are you going to stop? And then there's a captain where the float never stops. So I think 43 floats, 43 separate captains, essentially 43 mini Zulu parades within the Zulu parade. And with Zulu already sort of, hey, you got a better chance of turning left on Tulane Avenue than us running on time mentality. Sort of that mañana, New Orleans mentality. It just exacerbates things a little bit. Anyway, Rex seems a little upset. I'm sure they'll talk it out with Zulu like they have for decades and decades. These two organizations are pretty tight, both integrated. Rex isn't all white. Zulu isn't all black. They seem to respect each other. They work with each other. They have Mardi Gras traditions that are interwoven with each other. The essential thing here is these are both traditional Mardi Gras parades. These are the kings. These are the big, 1 and 1A, 1 and 1. I don't know who's 1 and I don't know who's 1A. They're both giganticus. They're both the biggest thing, the biggest tradition, historic New Orleans Mardi Gras. Rex and Zulu, that's like it. That's the pinnacle, right? Rouse's Markets phone lines, 766-9480. Every day you can check out the program, weekday afternoons starting at 4 o'clock. Spread the word, make it a habit. Always telling it like it is, always good topics. You're always welcome to join us. On the radio, oh so fine, 93.9 FM. 93.9 FM. On the front part of the dial. And then on the back side of the dial, New Orleans' own 107.9 FM. So on radio, on FM, two different ways, 93.9, 107.9. You can check us out right now, 600 AM. That's from like Baton Rouge to Pensacola, Florida. A very powerful, sneaky little powerful AM, 600 AM. We're on TV till 5:30 all over Louisiana. Cox Channel 4, Spectrum Channel 333. 4 to 5:30 on television. Live streaming, CoreyTalks.com. Go to our website, CoreyTalks.com. Corey spelled Kaare, CoreyTalks.com. We're on YouTube, The Neutral Ground with Corey Johnson on YouTube. Click to subscribe to our YouTube channel. It doesn't cost anything. Every day, it's all brought to you by the Lamarck Automotive Complex in Kennebra, right on the car corner, I-10 at Williams Boulevard, right on the corner, right on the price. Lamarck Ford, the big store, for nearly 50 years. Lamarck Lincoln, number one in the state. And now Lamarck Crescent City Ford, the legendary truck dealership on Jefferson Highway. Every day the program brought to you by the Lamarck Automotive Complex. And now Lamarck Crescent City Ford.
For game-changing innovation, look to the Latrim family of companies located in Harahan. Intralox, a Latrim company, changed the game when they invented modular plastic conveyor belts over 40 years ago. These belts and innovative Intralox technology are transforming movement in manufacturing facilities around the world. Intralox is a dynamic global company now hiring in production, warehousing, shipping, and more. If you want to be part of our successful team, visit Latrim.com. That's LAITRAM.com.
Here at the NOLA Coalition, we love our kids and we love our city. The people of New Orleans are standing together for a better future. By harnessing our collective resources, the NOLA Coalition will create a safer, more prosperous city for all residents. Your support is needed to help reduce violence, invest in our children, and drive generational change. Join now at nolacoalition.info.
1970 was an exciting time in New Orleans. The first Jazz Fest was held, the city hosted its first Super Bowl, and the first Helm Paint location opened on Earhart Boulevard. While the floppy disks, mood rings, and pet rocks may have come and gone since the 70s, Helm Paint has grown to become your premier source for quality Benjamin Moore products, competitive pricing, and personal service. Please visit one of our locations today and we'll meet our competitors' prices on any identical product. Helm Paint and Benjamin Moore, let us steer you in the right direction.
Helm Paint and Supply.
When USA Today ranked the 10 best must-visit New Orleans restaurants for travelers, Mid-City's own Katie's made the list. USA Today says Scott Craig is chef-owner at Katie's, a much-loved Creole Italian eatery that draws armies of regulars for lunch, brunch, and dinner. A neighborhood spot where locals congregate and New Orleans-style hospitality rules. Indeed it does. Katie's in Mid-City.
Dave Miette Insurance Agency. Auto, home, flood, business. 504-556-0809. Dave Miette, INSagency.com. Dave Miette Insurance Agency. Auto, home, flood, business. 504-556-0809. Dave Miette, INSagency.com.
Ladies and gentlemen, in this Lamarck Automotive Complex is something called Quick Lane. Tires, wheel alignments, struts, servicing your transmission. We do in all makes and models. It doesn't have to have been purchased from us. It's for you. It handles your lifestyle with your budget in mind. And we want to get you in and out as quick as possible. Quick Lane, you got to come see it. You're going to love the experience right there at Williams Boulevard in Kenner.
The Woodhouse Day Spa, with 5 area locations: New Orleans, Metairie, Slidell, Baton Rouge, and now Mandeville. A day of relaxation is just moments away at the Woodhouse Day Spa. WoodhouseSpas.com.
Outdoor dining, Middle Eastern cuisine, under the oak trees, Lebanon's Cafe, some of the city's finest lamb chops and shish kebab, Carrollton at Jeanette by the streetcar barn, Lebanon's Cafe. The Port of New Orleans is the gateway to global commerce, the economic engine that moves Louisiana and our country forward. For more than 125 years, Port Nola has continued to deliver the goods we use each and every day, by river, rail, and by road. No matter what, it all happens right here, delivering Louisiana's future at the Port of New Orleans, your working river. Learn more about your Port of New Orleans. Visit portnola.com. For Leidenheimer Baking Company, producing the perfect French bread is more than a vocation. It's a sacred mission. And for 5 generations, they've used the same time-honored process, baking their signature loaf with its crisp crust and delicate center, unique and still good to the last crumb. From the finest French Quarter restaurants to your local po' boy shop, for over 125 years, New Orleans' own Leidenheimer. Yeah, you right. Rouse's Markets phone lines open 766-9480. 766-9480. Believe it or not, it's Thursday. Little cloudy out there, overcast, high 60s. Might get some rain tomorrow afternoon, maybe Saturday morning. Then a cold front coming in, probably by Saturday afternoon, definitely Sunday through like Wednesday, sunny and colder. That's nice. I took Mr. Tolley for a walk earlier today, real quick, and I was like, you got to love New Orleans winter weather. This is winter weather in New Orleans, and it was like 65 outside. Rex and Zulu. Rex a little upset. Really delayed big time. I think crowds were the number one. First off, Zulu is notoriously late. Then I think, I don't know, maybe like this Mardi Gras just being really, really huge and big and everybody on the same page and no coronavirus baggage or any of that crap. And then literally, not just what I think or what I feel, there was large crowds like Orleans and Claiborne. It was supposedly just slammed. Like by Dookie Chase, like Galvez and Orleans, just crowds of people, Zulu getting mobbed, barely moving through there, stopping through there, huge gaps. Someone told me the King, Zulu stopped like on St. Charles, like a few blocks before Gallier Hall. I guess it was like St. Charles, like maybe Julia, and was there for like 20 minutes. And then all of a sudden creeped on up to Gallier Hall and knocked out the toast there. I'm not putting all the blame on Zulu, but I don't know where else you can put the blame. And look, I get it's Mardi Gras, and who wants to wear a watch or worry about timing? And I think it's awesome that Zulu has 43 captains controlling their own floats, and they can stop at different friends' house that have nothing to do with, quote, the Zulu parade, but that particular captain and maybe those riders on that particular float get to stop at grandma's house or their cousin or whatever. And the other floats continue on down the street, and the floats behind them have to stop. And it might be 2 minutes, it might be 10, and then they move on. Some captains of their floats, they don't stop anywhere. Some stop a lot of places. So I think that's like, it's a cool part about it. It's like, that's awesome. Zulu does what they want. It's Mardi Gras Day. Who gives a crap? Why are you worrying about it? Wearing a watch? But then it's like, okay, you have parade watchers, and all of a sudden there's a gap. And there's no parade going by for 10 minutes. And there's nothing there for 10 minutes. No band, no floats, no nothing. Or a float just sitting in front of you for 10 minutes and not moving. And they're not throwing anymore. And you're just sitting there. They're just sitting there. No one's doing anything. So that kind of takes away a little bit. The parade has to flow. It needs to be a parade, not broken up where, you snap a photo and here's a float. There's a gap of a block. Here's 5 floats in a row. Here's a gap of a block. That's not a parade. So I think 43 floats with 43 separate captains, almost 43 mini Zulu parades within the Zulu parade is a problem. I think 43 different people with 43 different ideas at certain times is a problem. That Zulu doesn't have like an all-encompassing, we only stop here. Each float can't just stop arbitrarily anywhere they want. We're going to figure out as an organization, as a crew, where we stop, and that's it. Maybe it's that. Zulu is notoriously late, a little unorganized. I don't think that's going to change. Zulu and Rex used to start like 30 minutes apart. Zulu started at 8 a.m., Rex started at 8:30. Then Rex went to like 9 and 9:30 and 10. Now I think it's 10:30. Zulu starts at 8. Rex starts at 10:30. Zulu comes up Jackson Avenue to St. Charles. Rex comes up Napoleon, and Zulu still can't get it together. So, I think ultimately, I'm not telling Zulu like, hey, dude, y'all got to start at 8 o'clock sharp. You got to be here by 11. You got to turn Jackson, St. Charles by so-and-so. The King's got to be here by so-and-so. I'm not saying that. I'm not having tractor guys and captains on walkie-talkies sitting there. Get accelerated. You got to be there in 2 minutes, But, hey, guys, you're stopping a little long. Let's get it moving. Come off float 18. Captain Charles, let's go. Get it moving. Whatever. And Zulu keeps it moving. I think it's just it's kind of a free-for-all. It's a little unorganized to begin with. Then you got 43 different captains controlling 43 different floats. It's Mardi Gras. There's a lot of excuse making. Hey, I don't wear a watch. No sense of urgency. I hear you. And the flip side, it's like Rex didn't get to toast their queen. Big deal. It's Mardi Gras. Throw your beads and have a good time. But stopping a lot, sitting still, not moving, a parade not flowing, it ceases being a parade and ceases being fun. I see both sides of it. It's Mardi Gras. You want to be carefree and not worry about anything. But still, it's a parade. And you've got to kind of go. There's places you do have to be at certain time periods. Let's try to make it there before 11. Let's make sure we're there by 12. Let's make, that kind of thing. Have like a big buffer. Like the school zones in New Orleans, 7 to 9, 2 to 4, just these big, wide swaths of time that I don't see a human being moving around that school. They've either already gone or they're not let out yet, but I'm doing 18 through the school zone and there's a camera and it's a 2-hour gap. It's crazy. Should be individual school zones for each individual school. It's 2024. The technology's there. It's not expensive. It's easy. You just have to have like a gap. Like Zulu needs to be at St. Charles and Jackson, the King float. But I don't know the time it would be by in between 8:50 and 9:40 or something, like a 50-minute time period, something like that. Can't just be a free-for-all where, hey, we get there at 9:30, we get there at 11:30. It is what it is. It's Zulu. And I'm Rex. I wouldn't have been like, we didn't get to toast the queen. It's like, hey, guys, Mardi Gras is sort of a fantasy make-believe thing to begin with, okay? This isn't like, affairs of the city or the state, city government. It's not a real monarchy. I would have just been like, okay, as Rex, I would have been like, hey, it's Mardi Gras. Zulu, Rex, we always run, Zulu's notoriously late. We're late. 30, 45 minutes, fine. 2 hours, unacceptable. That's sort of what Rex is saying. I would have just said it without, we didn't get to toast the queen. But then again, if you're a Mardi Gras purist, You know Zulu's history, you know Rex's history, all the tradition. You're looking at Mardi Gras in a serious way. Rex just wants to get to the Hotel Intercontinental by like 12:30 or something. 4 hours in to Zulu, 4.5 hours into Zulu, and can't get there this year. That there is something to be said about that. Forget about the Queen. Can't make it to Gallier Hall. We normally make it to Gallier Hall in between making up, times. Noon and 1. We got there at 3:00 this year. That maybe would have been a better call. We usually get to Gallier Hall in between XYZ and PDQ, and instead we got there at 3. An hour and a half later than our normal late. Anyway, the Rex a little vocal about it, Zulu a little vocal about it. I've reached out to both Zulu and Rex members and folks closely associated, like folks that have worked with these organizations for years, even decades. The folks that I've talked to that aren't members of Zulu, aren't members of Rex, black and white, both brought up like a race thing. Like Zulu's like, screw the O-line parade. They're all with white Rex. They're not concerned about that. And that's not the case at all. No Zulu members were saying that. And no Rex members were disparaging Zulu. Quite the opposite. A couple of guys I talked to, I brought race in just to see if there was any validity to it. They both knocked it down. One guy in particular was like, Zulu's just kind of unorganized. They got a bunch of captains. They kind of do what they want to do. They're always slow. This year it was particularly slow. And it's a problem. Rouse's Markets phone lines, 766-9480. 766-9480. Jazz Fest will release daily lineups, not the cubes, but the daily lineups. You'll know who's playing on which stage, just not which stage, which time. That'll happen tomorrow. Geesh. The crazy man on full display. Clay Higgins will be one of 11 House reps in that Senate impeachment charges on Alejandro Mayorkas, the Secretary of Homeland Security. So we get to see the crazy man on full display, Clay Higgins. Representing Southwestern Louisiana, it's Clay Higgins. Baba Biba Boba Boba Biba Biba Baba. I mean, geez of Pete's. Just insane. Crazy. A crazy man. An insane man. Someone that really needs some medical attention, some heavy medication. We elected him to the United States Congress. Go, Louisiana. Go. Mr. Clay Higgins.
The Lamarck Automotive Collision Center, it's open now. We fix cars and trucks. We do all makes and models. And it doesn't have to be a Ford or a Lincoln. It could be whatever you're driving. 32,000 square feet under roof. Now open at 3101 Williams Boulevard. It's all about you, the customer, getting the most for your dollar. I would say the most perfect collision center anywhere. The Lamarck Automotive Collision Center, 3101 Williams Boulevard. Go check it out.
Dave Miette Insurance Agency. Auto, home, flood, business. 504-556-0809. Dave Miette, INSagency.com. Dave Miette Insurance Agency. Auto, home, flood, business. 504-556-0809. Dave Miette, INSagency.com.
From the owners of Katie's in Mid-City and Bienvenue in Harahan, an old school deli with over a dozen specialty sandwiches. Francesca Deli and Pizzeria on Harrison Avenue in Lakeview between Canal Boulevard and West End. Francesca Deli and Pizzeria.
Ooh, Leidenheimer, that's what I said. Ooh, Leidenheimer, that's French for bread. Leidenheimer.
For over 120 years, New Orleans' very own Leidenheimer French bread.
Here at the NOLA Coalition, we love our kids and we love our city. The people of New Orleans are standing together for a better future. By harnessing our collective resources, the NOLA Coalition will create a safer, more prosperous city for all residents. Your support is needed to help reduce violence, invest in our children, and drive generational change. Join now at nolacoalition.info.
It's time to relax. The Woodhouse Day Spa, Metro New Orleans' premier day spa experience, now with 5 area locations. For a day of relaxation or maybe just a quick 1-hour getaway, the Metro area's premier day spa experience is at the Woodhouse Day Spa. And now 5 area locations: New Orleans, Metairie, Slidell, Baton Rouge, and our newest location in Mandeville, the Woodhouse Day Spa. WoodhouseSpas.com. Why wear the same old glasses that everyone else is wearing? Stand out from the crowd. Come to Art and Eyes. Art and Eyes is not your typical eyeglasses store. It's one of the finest eyewear shops in the country, right here in New Orleans, with precision-engineered prescription lenses and gorgeous high-quality frames from the heart of Europe, Japan, and the United States. Our products are thoughtfully curated, and our staff are here to help you find exactly the right frames. Art and Eyes on magazine, as unique as you.
Rouse's Market is hiring. With 65 stores, full or part-time employment, and flexible scheduling, Rouse's has a job for you, or maybe even a career. Apply at any Rouse's store or online at rouses.com.
Young's Dry Cleaning, with 2 walk-up locations with personal service. Young's on Claiborne and Young's on Harrison Avenue in Lakeview. Young's Dry Cleaning. Call 288-8381 or online at youngsdrycleaning.com.
What actually lasts a lifetime? Not much, but at Helm Paint, we have something guaranteed to last a lifetime. Benjamin Moore's Regal Select. This paint and primer in one offers cutting-edge waterborne technology, smooth application, and long durability. Helm Paint and Benjamin Moore, your New Orleans paint store.
River Cities. Total maintenance keeps you cool, New Orleans. NOLAAC.com is your cool spot.
The Port of New Orleans is the gateway to global commerce, the economic engine that moves Louisiana and our country forward. For more than 125 years, Port Nola has continued to deliver the goods we use each and every day, by river, rail, and by road. No matter what, it all happens right here, delivering Louisiana's future at the Port of New Orleans, your working river. Learn more about your Port of New Orleans. Visit portnola.com. Some of the best Middle Eastern food in Metro New Orleans, Lebanon's Cafe. I was there Sunday with my mom, with my brother. Sometimes my sister shows up. My mom got lamb chops. I got chicken shawarma. My brother got shish kebab. He got a combo. I think he got chicken and maybe the lamb. Little tabbouleh on the side. Fried football kibbe. That's like a Middle Eastern meat pie. Fantastic. Lebanon's Cafe. They're open till 9:30. It's about 65 degrees. Outdoor dining tonight. Old school New Orleans style wrought iron tables and chairs under the big green awning. Carrollton at Jeanette, under the oak trees, I should say, on the streetcar line. Lebanon's Cafe tonight for dinner. So good, you won't be disappointed. Zulu, Rex. Zulu, got to be on time, but it's like, it's Mardi Gras. How much do we have to be on time? But I think both sides make some interesting points. Junket Cantrell travels to Cali. Some BS mayor's convention that she doesn't need to go to. Saints to move training camp to Cal Irvine. LSU running back Trey Holly arrested in connection with the Union Parish shooting up in North Louisiana. Corey Johnson with you on a Thursday afternoon. Yeah, you right. We love tossing this guy a bone every Thursday. Pun intended. This guy just does incredible stuff. I was looking at some of the stuff today. I was It's amazing. These folks that, wildlife rehab folks that go out, and it could be a pelican, it could be a raccoon, any kind of wildlife, Louisiana wildlife creature. They don't just let the animal suffer and die and you go, that's Mother Nature. They'll go in there and help that animal. And if it's man that caused the problem, you can bet your rear end they're going to go help that animal. Some kind of oil spill or something that, hurt the animal. They go in and they do this rehab. It's pretty incredible what they do. These are real heroes. Jeff Dorson supports these wildlife rehabbers through his Humane Society of Louisiana. How you doing, Jeff?
Corey, thanks for that introduction. And speaking about a subject that I promise you is rarely talked about, we're surrounded by wildlife, and everybody figures some agency obviously has it handled when it comes to an injured animal. And you and I both know that when it comes to animals, nobody has it handled ever, especially no formal agency.
Pretty amazing photos. I hope those are on your Facebook page.
Yeah, we talk about wildlife a lot. A lot of humane societies are pretty restricted. They only deal with cats and dogs, maybe hamsters, stuff like that. And there's a whole other world that needs our attention and help. Wildlife in particular doesn't get much spotlight attention and definitely not much resources because people don't see them that often. We're in an urban setting and we figure they're off in the woods.
Yep.
Well, as we encroach on their habitat, we come in contact with them. They get hurt, injured. They have loss of an environment that they're used to. So wildlife and fisheries, people think, call them. They'll come out with a little veterinarian and take it back to their center and everything will end up happy. Nothing could be farther from the truth. They don't provide any resources. They actually only have a course that you can take that allows you to be licensed, and only about 30 or 40 people have done it for the entire state, maybe a few more. And once you're licensed, you have to pay for everything. Injured pelican, you have to buy the medicine and the small fish and in your backyard, nurse it back to health. It doesn't make any sense.
Jeff Dorson's with us. He's with the Humane Society of Louisiana. The costs are enormous. You guys sort of did something interesting, got a bunch of groceries for these wildlife rehabbers because they're using their own money to rehab. I saw that beautiful pelican in the car, and the pelicans seem pretty calm. Like these folks really know what they're doing.
Well, they're injured, so sometimes they're kind of in a quiet state. Not every time, but pelicans in particular, I've handled several. And they're just amazing animals. You can pick them up when they're injured and gently put them in your car and drive, and they're pretty much sense that you're going to try and take care of them so they don't put up a fight. They're incredible animals.
And they're huge, beautiful birds. It's the state bird. It's unbelievable.
Yeah, and I'm going to write to the pelicans. Can they step up and give some money for the rehabilitation? They're using their name. Do they understand that the wild pelicans really need our help?
No,
there's hardly anybody to call when they're injured.
No, it's brilliant. That's brilliant. HumaneLA.org is the website. Please go there right now and donate. HumaneLA.org. How did the Mardi Gras horse adoptions go?
It's really booming. People are now anticipating it. They like the program. We get calls from all over. We must have a waiting list of 30 people for the last 2 horses. That's how popular it's getting.
Wow. So you're going to have to pick out of the 30 people, 2 people get these last 2 horses.
Yeah, we vet them pretty carefully. Have they had horses in the past? Send us your records. Who's your vet?
Yep.
Where do they stable?
Wow.
It's not in your backyard, I hope. So we have it down to a pretty good protocol and science of who makes for a good horse owner. But overall, we're working our heart off on lots of different levels, lots of different animals, different environments. The state capitol, we're real busy trying to convince lawmakers, come on, save off a little bit to help animals in need, trying to convince them to build shelters on prison grounds, and we will see. And then we have lots of other bills all sorts of. We're trying to be creative. How else can we help in different ways? So stay tuned. We're not done.
Blue Boys saying, please help out my friends. HumaneLA.org. HumaneLA.org. Thanks so much, Jeff.
Next week, Corey. Thank you.
You're on the neutral ground with Corey Johnson on TV on Cox Channel 4 and Spectrum Channel 333. Also on YouTube, on radio at NOLA Talk 93.9 FM, WSLA New Orleans.
Hi, it's Ken Friend from Friend & Company Fine Jewelers. You've got a friend in the jewelry business. Come see us over on Maple Street in Uptown.
Friend & Company Fine Jewelers Breitling time, 5 p.m.
For game-changing innovation, look to the Latrim family of companies located in Harahan. Intralocks, a Latrim company, changed the game when they invented modular plastic conveyor belts over 40 years ago. These belts and innovative Intralocks technology are transforming movement in manufacturing facilities around the world. Intralocks is a dynamic global company now hiring in production, warehousing, shipping, and more. If you want to be part of our successful team, visit latrim.com. That's LAITRAM.com.
Dave Miette Insurance Agency. Auto, home, flood, business. 504-556-0809. Dave Miette, INSagency.com. Dave Miette Insurance Agency. Auto, home, flood, business. 504-556-0809. Dave Miette, INSagency.com.
Young's Dry Cleaning has free pickup and delivery. That's right. Young's Dry Cleaning has absolutely free pickup and delivery. Home or office, East Bank or West Bank. Call Young's at 288-8381 or online at youngsdrycleaning.com.
River City's total maintenance keeps you cool. River City's total maintenance keeps you cool. River City's total maintenance keeps you cool. NOLAAC.com, your cool spot. River City's total maintenance keeps you cool. NOLAAC.com, your cool spot.
Rouse's, New Orleans grocery store. Rouse's has the only full-service grocery stores both in the French Quarter on Royal Street and in the CBD on Baronne in the old Sewell Cadillac building. The Rouse's on the river, Tchoupitoulas at Napoleon, is in a century-old warehouse. And uptown on Ferret at the corner of Valence is Rouse's all-new boutique store. With 7 locations in Orleans Parish, Rouse's is New Orleans grocery store. Rouse's Markets. Taste like home.
Hi, this is Joey Helm. My dad, Bunky Helm, had a vision of a locally family-owned store serving the residential and commercial paint needs of New Orleans. I think Dad would be proud of today's Helm Paint and Decorating, and here's why. We have the best technical staff in the business, providing the best color matching service in Southeast Louisiana. Perfect matching for any color and any brand. Then we'll save your colors so you don't have to save those old cans. Helm Paint offers free 2-hour delivery. Our in-store decorators will assist you on deciding what color and type of paint to best showcase your home. But most importantly, as your local independent Benjamin Moore dealer, our products provide the greatest value in the paint industry. Superior coverage, and Benjamin Moore paint simply covers better and lasts longer. New Orleans is a city of vibrant color, and no one else provides the paints of New Orleans like Helm Paint and Decorating. Visit any of our 6 locations or online at helmpaint.com.
Helm Paint, let us do you right. Helm Paint and Supply.
The Port of New Orleans is the gateway to global commerce, the economic engine that moves Louisiana and our country forward. For more than 125 years, Port Nola has continued to deliver the goods we use each and every day, by river, rail, and by road. No matter what, it all happens right here, delivering Louisiana's future at the Port of New Orleans, your working river. Learn more about your Port of New Orleans. Visit portnola.com.
Ford F-150, #1 seller in America. What about in the USA? Let's see, what about in the world? Who sells more trucks than Ford? Nobody. It's because the Lamar team is the real team. All that makes it happen is one goal. Everybody having a great experience at Lamar Ford. We became #1 for a reason, because we're good. And we need to prove it every day, every deal, all of the time.
Ooh, Leidenheimer, that's what I said. Ooh, Leidenheimer, that's French for bread. Leidenheimer.
5 generations. Family owned and operated. Leidenheimer French bread.
Here at the NOLA Coalition, we love our kids and we love our city. The people of New Orleans are standing together for a better future. By harnessing our collective resources, the NOLA Coalition will create a safer, more prosperous city for all residents. Your support is needed to help reduce violence, invest in our children, and drive generational change. Join now at nolacoalition.info.
For over 20 years, serving healthy, fresh, authentic Middle Eastern cuisine, Lebanon's Cafe. In the Carrollton section of Uptown on the streetcar line, Wednesday through Monday, 11 a.m. to 9:30. Lebanon's Cafe.
The Woodhouse Day Spa, with 5 area locations: New Orleans, Metairie, Slidell, Baton Rouge, and now Mandeville. A day of relaxation is just moments away at the Woodhouse Day Spa. WoodhouseSpas.com.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, Schlemiel, Schlemazel, Hasenkamp Incorporated.
Due to a scheduling conflict where Corey Johnson was unavailable for today's program, still recovering from Mardi Gras, we're going to run a couple of Laverne and Shirley reruns. We're going way back 45 years ago, season 3, episode 11, where Laverne at the brewery spills a bottle of beer. The second 30-minute episode goes to season 7, episode 3, Shirley's new boyfriend. It's all coming your way next. Hey, that guy was serving hamburgers and fries, waffle fries and shakes out of a container on Vets in Clearview a few weeks ago. Isn't that Hall of Fame legend Drew Brees? I don't get it. He's worth tens of millions of dollars, yet he was handing me my burger and fries and shake through the drive-thru. Yeah, that's what happens when you own the place. Drew Brees, a major player off the field. Another endeavor where he's a partner, Smalls Sliders. The lines are sort of Chick-fil-A-ish. Cones and police and spilling out onto the main road, that type of thing going down. For Smalls Sliders. Now, they do look better than like a White Castle or like that kind of thing, or like a Crystal Burger. Looks a little better. Anyway, I guess I will try a small slider in about 9 months when the hype fades down and it's an emergency and I'm desperate for food. And I'm like, all right, I guess I'm going to hit small sliders. I don't get the Chick-fil-A craze, Miss Peaches, to be honest with you. I'm not saying it's bad. It's just not that good. The line is like, this is good. I mean, it's really good. It's just like, it's all right. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. And I honestly think frozen and pre-breaded, but they claim fresh and hand-breaded to order almost. And I'm like, no way. And then if you're at Chick-fil-A, like, hey, can I get that extra crispy? Nope. No changes, no alterations, no nothing. And a little salty. I think a little salty, the nuggets. But anyway, kind of greasy too. Like they're not like they're crispy and Chick-fil-A is sort of okay. I mean, I think the condiments are good and they're clean in the inside. Shakes are good. I mean, things like that. But I mean, it's not like, my God, the best chicken sandwich I've ever eaten in my life. It's like, dude, it's Chick-fil-A, but the lines are spilling out in the street. I'm in the minority, you know? I'm a Louisiana guy. I'm a Cane's guy. If I'm going to go get fast food, that's pretty much all I eat. I don't even eat Popeyes anymore. Popeyes just one major disappointment. Hey, can I get a 2-piece with red beans? Either one of the pieces of chicken is going to just be crappy and you're going to like not want to eat it. Why is it brown? The red beans are just going to be like just nasty where you don't want to eat that maybe. Or the biscuit's going to be like, I ordered a biscuit, not a hockey puck. So yeah, I stopped eating Popeyes. And finally, before we move on, Miss Peaches, I've never in my life had a Rally's burger. I've never been to Taco Bell in my life. I've never had a Rally's burger, a Checkers burger. My last Wendy's hamburger, probably like a single, like 40 years ago, like in the 80s. No, I'm not kidding you. Like 40 years ago. Last Burger King 20 years ago. I remember my last McDonald's. I was a student at LSU. I was like, damn, that Big Mac feels like the styrofoam container used to come in a little styrofoam container. And the Big Mac, it feels like it's all in its original shape in my stomach. Like you could open up my stomach and there'd be the container. You could open it, it'd be the triple stacked Big Mac just in its original form in there. It's like, this can't be good. And I'm a college student, probably half drunk, just no more McDonald's. I mean, and then I just think it's sort of low grade meat. And I don't think there's a lot of pride, generally speaking. We're like, oh, that thing fell on that black mat. We're not throwing that away. Just put it back on the bun. Things of that nature. Not a big fan of fast food. But no, I get how Chick-fil-A stands alone where it's cleaner and different and all that. I just don't. The food part's the main thing. And just, I don't know. I'd rather eat Cane's than Chick-fil-A. But then even Cane's, Miss Peaches, I get the fingers naked. I went in there one time. I was like, is there a way I can get like less batter, less? So they're like, you get them naked? I'm like, what's naked? They're like, no batter. I'm like, give it a try. And now I've got the time down. You need to go a little longer than if there's batter, believe it or not. You want to go longer, otherwise they'll be a little greasy. But they come out crispy and good, just little fried chicken tenders with no batter. Anyway, they're about half the size of a regular, and the batter's like about half the size, and the chicken tenders the other half. I don't know if y'all noticed or not. We changed the format. It's called Fast Food Talk. 24/7, 365, fast food. Even worse, Corey's Fast Food Talk. Like, who cares, Corey, if you eat Arby's or not? Nope. Not eating Arby's. They do have the meats, though, from what I understand. No, I'm that dummy that goes to the Houston's bar and has that dip sandwich for $35. Yes, you can pick up that aluminum baseball bat, Miss Peaches. Yes, after the program at 6:01, you can clock me in the side of the head with it. I give you permission, yes. Boot snob. I heard you, Miss Peaches. Miss Peaches is going to get her small sliders and laugh at me as I eat my... I think the sandwich at Houston's is like $19. But then, the Coke or whatever I get's like $2.50, $3. And then tax man. So then like I'm at like 26, 27. I'm going to tighten up the, weight person with probably 25, 30%. So yeah, it could be like a $35 sandwich. Houston's is pricey. Whenever I've leased Houston's, I'm like, could have gone to Commander's Palace. Could have gone to, Irene's is less expensive. Bayona's less expensive than Houston's. Houston's is crazy priced. But fairly consistent. And Americana. Anyway. It is a Thursday, and yes, I do have an actual program lined up. Rex Zulu dilemma heating up. Stop laughing, Miss Peaches. Laughing with me is great. Laughing at me, and I can tell you're laughing at me, it's not a confidence builder for me. Zulu, notoriously late. Like I said last hour, you have a better chance taking a left turn on Tulane Avenue than Zulu being on time. That's just how it is. I'm late a lot of the time. Zulus like me, they're late. But this year, Zulu was absurdly late, ridiculously late. I think Zulu needs to get like a captain's captain, the king of the captains, a general, an admiral. Rex has a captain. Most parades have a captain. A single individual, maybe one or two individuals, they're sober. They're controlling the flow of the parade, making sure things are flowing right. They're on walkie-talkies with other people or cell phone or whatever. Zulu is a little unorganized to begin with. It's Mardi Gras. We're getting there. Then you have 43 floats, which is great. 43 captains, which is insane. You can have captain of the float, but my God, there needs to be a captain that controls the whole thing. There's like an umbrella that's known as Zulu, and under the umbrella are the 43 floats, not 43 captains of 43 floats, and it's basically 43 mini Zulu parades within the Zulu umbrella. And all 43 of these captains, all different personalities. Some are loud and obnoxious, and I'm stopping every damn corner. That's my auntie. That's my cousin. That's my brother once removed. That's so-and-so. I think I'm related to them. I want to be related to them. We're stopping here. That's my buddy Joe. Just stop everywhere. Stop the float. Say hello. Hey, man, have your girl out there because I'm stopping the float in front of your house for 5 minutes for you. So you got some of those 43 captains that are just obnoxious, and then they get hammered and they're drunk and they're just doing whatever. They're not thinking about anything but them having fun and their float. Then you have some Zulu captains of their float that are sober and they don't stop for anyone. They're just following the parade. They're sort of passive. So 43 floats is incredible. 43 captains is insane. And I think that's part of the problem. Zulu's kind of unorganized to begin with, a little. And then you have 43 captains, basically 43 floats, 43 mini parades within the parade. I'm stopping here. I'm not. I'm going. I'm stopping. I think Zulu needs to have we only stop the parade here, and it's 10 places, 15 places, whatever the number is, but they're agreed upon by the Zulu crew, and that's it. And Zulu, you could say, man, they've agreed on what they got. 43 captains.
River City's total maintenance keeps you cool. River City's total maintenance keeps you cool. River City's total maintenance keeps you cool. NolaAC.com, your cool spot. River City's total maintenance keeps you cool. NolaAC.com, your cool spot.
Young's Dry Cleaning, with 2 walk-up locations with personal service. Young's on Claiborne and Young's on Harrison Avenue in Lakeview. Young's Dry Cleaning. Call 288-8381 or online at youngsdrycleaning.com. The Port of New Orleans is the gateway to global commerce, the economic engine that moves Louisiana and our country forward. For more than 125 years, Port Nola has continued to deliver the goods we use each and every day. By river, rail, and by road. No matter what, it all happens right here, delivering Louisiana's future at the Port of New Orleans, your working river. Learn more about your Port of New Orleans. Visit portnola.com.
Rouse's Market is hiring. With 65 stores, full or part-time employment, and flexible scheduling, Rouse's has a job for you, or maybe even a career. Apply at any Rouse's store or online at rouses.com.
Ooh, Leidenheimer, that's what I said. Ooh, Leidenheimer, that's French for bread. Leidenheimer.
Served in New Orleans' finest restaurants, Leidenheimer French bread. There's a Middle Eastern restaurant that's less than 5 minutes from where Causeway and River Road meet, Lebanon's Cafe. Convenient to Old Metairie and Old Jefferson. Carrollton at Jeanette on the streetcar line, Lebanon's Cafe.
Custom window treatments can enhance the look and value of your home. At Helm Paint and Decorating, we're proud to offer custom plantation-style window shutters by Scandia. Perfect for any window, including large frames, French doors, sliding doors, and arches. American-made SL300 shutters are available in many colors to match your personal decor. We'll come out to measure, and you'll receive fast delivery. Plus, they're virtually maintenance-free.
Helm Paint and Benjamin Moore let us steer you in the right direction.
Helm Paint and Supply.
Louisiana is unique. The food, the festivals, even the bugs. No, not mud bugs. Unwanted bugs like these. The ones you don't want crawling in your home or business. Trust the Shield from J&J Exterminating. We've been protecting Louisiana homes for over 50 years, earning the trust of our clients because we deliver what we promise. Protect your home from pests. Get the Shield from J&J Exterminating.
J&J Exterminating. Yeah.
The Woodhouse Day Spa, with 5 area locations: New Orleans, Metairie, Slidell, Baton Rouge, and now Mandeville. A day of relaxation is just moments away at the Woodhouse Day Spa. WoodhouseSpas.com.
Ladies and gentlemen, in this Lamar Automotive Complex, there's something called Quick Lane. Tires, wheel alignments, struts, servicing your transmission. We do in all makes and models. It doesn't have to have been purchased from us. It's for you. It handles your lifestyle with your budget in mind. And we want to get you in and out as quick as possible. Quick Lane, you got to come see it. You're going to love the experience right there at Williams Boulevard in Kenner.
In New Orleans, we don't eat to live. We live to eat.
More is better.
Scott Craig of Katie's.
That is our slogan. More is better at Katie's. It means more of everything. Not just more food, more smiles, more friendship, more love. More. When you do something, you have to do it right. It's all about more, and it's all more of the good things.
Get more at Katie's Restaurant in Mid-City.
Yeah, you right. Crescent City and beyond. Corey Johnson back at you on a Thursday. Hey, tomorrow, a Fantasy Friday edition of the program. Michael Hecht will join us from Greater New Orleans, Inc., hopefully with some good economic news. That segment's always brought to you by Latrim. Speaking of good economic news, I got some for you. You're looking for a new job, looking for a career? Latrim's got a position for you. Go to Latrim.com for a full listing of positions available. Latrim spelled Laitram, Latrim.com. Yeah, tomorrow, Fletcher Mackel, Michael Heck, Frank Brightson. Love talking food with Frank Brightson on a Friday, especially after Mardi Gras. Strawberries are rolling in. It's so funny. I'm at the grocery and I see the Springfield strawberries, and then they got the Driscoll ones from California. I'm like, who would buy the California ones that are year-round? You can get them anytime. They're fine. But the Louisiana ones are sweeter and better and fresher and local. No brainer. And then Rouse's, they're smart. They got the Louisiana strawberries, and then they got the whipped cream right there. Right there. Like, don't have to go get the whipped cream. It's right there by the strawberries. I grabbed them both. I didn't have any shortbread type of thing, but I just literally, sliced up the strawberries and then just shook up that can of whipped cream. You want to know the good thing about the can of whipped cream? It actually is like a legitimate product in the sense that if you look at the ingredients, it's like cream and milk and sugar. And then the can and the pressure makes the whipped cream like how you would whip it. You're putting air, you're whipping it to put air in it. The shooting out of the can does that. So it's sort of an incredible thing in a way where how else could you whip cream by not whipping it? Oh, by pressurizing it in a can and letting it out and the air hitting it and blowing it up into whipped cream. So you can make homemade whipped cream, and yes, that's going to be better with vanilla and whipping it up yourself. And I'd prefer that, but I'm not messing with that. I just get that red, and what's the stuff called? Ready Whip. I don't get the blue can, the extra thick or whatever. Just get the red can and cut up a bunch of strawberries and then probably use too much of that Ready Whip. But it is amazing how the sweet, juicy strawberries and that smooth cream, it's just the perfect combo. And you really don't need the pound cake or whatever. My dad would make one when he was around that would rise in the oven. And I remember one time I opened up the oven door and I slammed it and the cake collapsed. And I got popped in the back of the head for that one. Son, what are you doing? Wrecked the whole thing. So we had strawberries with whipped cream with no pound cake that night. That only happened once. Boy, that pound cake was good. Anyway, Thursday afternoon edition of the program. Cloudy right now, a little overcast, but no threat of rain. And Temperatures are in the mid to high 60s. If you can go dine outside tonight or dine at your house and grill in the backyard, eat outside, do it. The weather's great right now. And it's winter in New Orleans. It's February, mid-February. It's just perfect. You know, Joe Blow up in Minneapolis is scraping his windshield right now just to drive home. Gonna have to get out the snowblower to clear the driveway. We're talking about dining outside. Jazz Fest will release the daily lineup tomorrow. You'll know who's playing in what days, not the cubes. You won't know the stages. You won't know the times. But you'll know, we already know who's playing, but we'll know the days when they're playing. Cubes coming later. When do the cubes come? Maybe in March? Next month? Rex Zulu. Rex hit a tree. Zulu was painfully slow yesterday. Reportedly, crowds on like Orleans and Claiborne heading down Orleans towards Dookie Chase that were just as thick as ever, like in the history of Mardi Gras, where Zulu almost had no choice, no chance, had to go slow. But I think just Zulu overall being a little unorganized, especially with their framework, how they're set up. And a Zulu member can call and correct me if I'm wrong. That's what's great about this program. We won't cut you off. We don't screen callers. Put me in my place if I'm wrong. Rouse's Markets phone lines, 766-9480. Rouse's Markets phone lines, 766-9480. Where Rex and most parades have one captain that handles everything, that makes sure the parade's flowing right. Zulu doesn't have one captain that does that oversees the Zulu parade. Zulu has 43 floats, and each float has their own captain. 43 captains. So it isn't one parade, really. It's 43 mini Zulu parades, each its own ship with its own captain out on the seas, going any direction they want, stopping anywhere they like. And I love Zulu and I love tradition. And Rex going, we couldn't toast our queen. I wouldn't have said that. That just, it's sort of corny. And I think most folks would be like, sorry, Rex, we don't get the Rex tradition, don't understand it. And that's sort of meaningless. What Rex should have said was, look, Zulu always runs late. We know that. Everybody knows. It's sort of an inside joke. It is. I mean, better chance of turning left on Tulane Avenue, I said earlier in the show, than Zulu running on time. Just doesn't happen. But with that said, we usually get to Gallier Hall at 1 o'clock, the King. We didn't make it till 3 o'clock. So we're already late a little, and that's fine. That's Mardi Gras. But 3 o'clock instead of 1 o'clock, like 2 hours later than normal, whatever it was, that's a little ridiculous. And I would have used Gallier Hall as the example, not the king couldn't toast her queen. That's just, it's I get it. And Rex has been around since the 1800s. They do this every year. I get it. But I think from like a marketing sales point of view, I wouldn't have used that. I would have used Gallier Hall. And then maybe added in. I mean, we couldn't even toast the queen normally. She had to leave. We were so late. That would be like an incidental and afterthought if I was doing the marketing and promotion for Rex. And with just a few more blocks down, Gallier Hall, right from the Intercontinental, I would have said that. That would have had more oomph, where the queen thing almost, I get it, and I think a lot of people get it. Zulu and Rex people get it. But a lot of people are like, really? Did you just say that? Oh, it almost makes people run the other way. And then it's Mardi Gras. Who wears a watch? Let Zulu do whatever they want to do, kind of runs free, especially on social media. Here's the thing I would say for like the average parade watcher, black, white, whatever. When there is a gap where there's blocks and blocks of nothing there, where there is a Zulu or Rex float just sitting in front of you for 10 or 15 minutes. They're not throwing anymore. You're not saying, throw me something, just sitting there doing nothing. It sort of sucks. Sort of slows down Mardi Gras. It's like a commercial break. I want to watch the movie. I don't want to watch the commercial. Let's go. So Zulu is notoriously late. That's never going to change. But hours and hours late, that's kind of a problem. And Rex seemed a little upset by it. Here's the interesting part. Zulu and Rex have a pretty good relationship. They kind of get all this. They understand each other's sort of strengths, weaknesses, complaints, praise. They get it. They work together. They're friendly. It's folks that aren't members of Rex and Zulu that are the most vocal about it, especially with injecting race. And I spoke with both Zulu and Rex folks within the organization and folks that just have a lot to do with it over the years. They never brought up race at all on this. They just kind of concurring with my conclusions. 43 captains, kind of 43 mini Zulu parades within the parade. They need some structure under the Zulu umbrella, everybody on board kind of thing. We have 15 stops. That's the only ones we make. Everybody's on board. Everybody's on the same page. Right now, it's a little unorganized. Hey, TV audience, mañana, straight up 4 o'clock. Be there. Radio, live streaming, YouTube. We continue seamlessly till 6 p.m. Every day, 4 to 6 on the radio. 4 to 6 live streaming, CoreyTalks.com. 4 to 6 o'clock on YouTube. Every weekday, 4 to 5:30. The first 90 minutes of the program live on TV all over Louisiana. If you subscribe to Cox Television, the number one TV provider in the state, I'm there. Cox Channel 4, weekdays at 4. If you're a Charter television subscriber, a.k.a. Spectrum Channel 333, weekdays at 4, 90 minutes of fun. 90 minutes? How about almost 90 years? What is it? 84 years of excellence? I'm talking about Young's Dry Cleaning, a New Orleans institution. 84 years of excellence since 1940. They're the biggest because they've always been the best. Tired of your dry cleaner? Want to experience the best? YoungDryCleaning.com. Young'sDryCleaning.com. Young'sDryCleaning.com. Corey Johnson with you on a Thursday. Yeah, Rex, Zulu. I think Zulu, always late, a breakdown, whatever. I think with 43 captains, 43 mini parades within Zulu, that needs to be kind of, brought under control, like where there's a general that's sober, controls everything. And look, these 43 captains are all different. Some of them are obnoxious and loud. Some want to stop every minute. Some of them are drunk. Some of them are dead sober and just go, or passive and just roll along with the parade. Now, and I'm talking within the 43 captains of Zulu. When I say passive and roll along, it's Mardi Gras.
Why wear the same old glasses that everyone else is wearing? Crowd, come to Art and Eyes. Art and Eyes is not your typical eyeglasses store. It's one of the finest eyewear shops in the country, right here in New Orleans, with precision-engineered prescription lenses and gorgeous high-quality frames from the heart of Europe, Japan, and the United States. Our products are thoughtfully curated, and our staff are here to help you find exactly the right frames. Art and Eyes, a magazine as unique as you.
Custom window treatments can enhance the look and value of your home. At Helm Paint and Decorating, we're proud to offer custom plantation-style window shutters by Scandia. Perfect for any window, including large frames, French doors, sliding doors, and arches. American-made SL300 shutters are available in many colors to match your personal decor. We'll come out to measure, and you'll receive fast delivery. Plus, they're virtually maintenance-free.
Helm Paint and Benjamin Moore led us to you in the right direction.
Helm Paint and Supply.
The Lamarck Automotive Collision Center, it's open now. We fix cars and trucks. We do all makes and models. And it doesn't have to be a Ford or a Lincoln. It could be whatever you're driving. 32,000 square feet under roof. Now open at 3101 Williams Boulevard. It's all about you, the customer, getting the most for your dollar. I would say the most perfect collision center anywhere. The Lamarck Automotive Collision Center, 3101 Williams Boulevard. Go check it out.
For Leidenheimer Baking Company, producing the perfect French bread is more than a vocation. It's a sacred mission. And for 5 generations, they've used the same time-honored process, baking their signature loaf with its crisp crust and delicate center, unique and still good to the last crumb. From the finest French Quarter restaurants to your local po' boy shop for over 125 years. New Orleans' own Leidenheimer.
River City's total maintenance keeps you cool. River City's total maintenance keeps you cool. River City's total maintenance keeps you cool. NolaAC.com, your cool spot. River City's total maintenance keeps you cool. NolaAC.com, your cool spot.
From the owners of Katie's in Mid-City and Bienvenue in Harahan, an old school deli with over a dozen specialty sandwiches. Francesca Deli and Pizzeria on Harrison Avenue in Lakeview between Canal Boulevard and West End. Francesca Deli and Pizzeria.
Rouse's, New Orleans grocery store. Rouse's has the only full-service grocery stores both in the French Quarter on Royal Street and in the CBD on Baronne in the old Sewell Cadillac building. The Rouse's on the river, Tchoupitoulas at Napoleon, is in a century-old warehouse. And uptown on Ferret at the corner of Valence is Rouse's all-new boutique store. With 7 locations in Orleans Parish, Rouse's is New Orleans grocery store. Rouse's Markets. Taste like home.
Here at the NOLA Coalition, we love our kids and we love our city. The people of New Orleans are standing together for a better future. By harnessing our collective resources, the NOLA Coalition will create a safer, more prosperous city for all residents. Your support is needed to help reduce violence, invest in our children, and drive generational change. Join now at nolacoalition.info.
For game-changing innovation, look to the Latrim family of companies located in Harahan. Intralox, a Latrim company, changed the game when they invented modular plastic conveyor belts over 40 years ago. These belts and innovative Intralox technology are transforming movement in manufacturing facilities around the world. Intralox is a dynamic global company now hiring in production, warehousing, shipping, and more. If you want to be part of our successful team, visit latrim.com. That's LAITRAM.com.
Uh-oh. We're cutting up over here. Corey Johnson with you. Yeah, you right. Miss Peach is at the controls, fielding your phone calls, 504-766-9480. I'd love to hear from a Rex or Zulu member. 504-766-9480. 766-9480. No, Rex and Zulu, just two totally different organizations. Both are old school traditional organizations. Rex is like, old school uptown blue blood type of organization. Zulu is Black New Orleans. Rex is the old line. Zulu's making fun of the old line. Rex isn't like, hey, prim and proper, like we start at 10, we must be at so-and-so at this time. They're a bunch of dudes like Zulu, just half the crew's drunk, half the crew's having a good time, the other half, everybody's having a good time, the other half sober and having a good time, whatever. Just like Zulu, no different. So it's not like they're watching their watch the whole time. But Zulu's like on the opposite extreme, like, they're notoriously late. It's like there's always a breakdown. She's like, that's Zulu. Just sort of, it's accepted. It's like nowhere in New Orleans can you park on the neutral ground. In front of Zulu on Orleans and Broad, you can park on the neutral ground. It's just accepted. It's just how it is. There's no NOPD cop anywhere on the force that's going to pull out his ticket book and put tickets on cars on the neutral ground in front of Zulu. And I promise if they do, those tickets are just going to go away. They're going to disappear. I'm not dogging Zulu. It's just New Orleans how it is. Zulu being late. Zulu and Rex have talked about this for years. For years. They have an understanding. Rex said, like, screw you, Zulu. And Zulu's like, screw you, Rex. They're friendly. They both get along. Both crews are integrated. But Zulu is a little different. There isn't one captain. There's a captain for each float. 43 different captains. Not one individual controlling Zulu is like a single entity. It's like 43 mini Zulus out there. And I think that's the biggest challenge for Zulu. If they even care to approach it, Zulu will be like, we don't care. I think they do. I don't think they want to bog down Mardi Gras. I don't think they like big gaps in the parade. I don't think they like their 43 captains just captaining their own float and stopping and going wherever they want. I think Zulu wants an organized, smooth-running parade. They would like that. And I think the way they need to accomplish that is someone needs to be fully in charge of the parade that day that is sober and have a crew people helping them and keep it going, keep it flowing. And as a parade, the 43 captains can't make individual stops and choices. They need to, if it's so important that Frankie stops at his grandmother's house, then Zulu as a crew will figure that out. Frankie's been a member for 40 years. He stopped at his grandmother's house for the last 40 years. We're going to make that one of the 18 stops. Float 14 will stop by Frankie's mom's house. Whatever. However many stops, it's all agreed upon under the umbrella of Zulu, and that's that. Not 43 captains manning 43 floats, 43 different choices. That's part of the problem. The Zulu being a little late, that's probably always going to be that way. But if you had one person in charge kind of keeping it all together, I think that would help. One captain, not 43 captains. It's just sort of, how many captains are piloting this ship? 43. That's a problem. Rex has one captain, Captain Kirk. Zulu has 43 Captain Kirks. 43. So it's going to be a little unorganized. It's going to be a little slow. But this was a little crazy. Now, Rex on the marketing and promotion part, like selling this, hey, with the king, Rex couldn't toast his queen. That's not the way to sell it. That should have been secondary afterthought, and it would have been great. It would have been a plus instead of maybe something that's used as a negative. Like, really? That's what they're worried about? Like people that aren't into the Rex since 18 whatever and the tradition, and Rex has always done this, they don't care about that. What Rex should have pushed was, we normally get to Gallier Hall sometime in between, whatever it would be, 12:15 and 1 p.m. We got there at 3 o'clock yesterday. We were an hour and 45 minutes late to Gallier Hall. We were so late to Gallier Hall, a few blocks earlier at the Hotel Intercontinental, the queen and her court had left. Rex couldn't even toast his queen. Like, it would be more of a laughing point, like that amplifies the problem instead of being a negative. It's like, it's just marketing promotion. The cat is skinned at the end. There are different ways to get there. There are better ways to get there. If you rent property, you don't say $1,500 a month rent due by the 5th. And if you're late, it's $1,600 a month. You don't penalize the person you're renting to. You say the rent is $1,600, what the penalty would be. $1,600 a month. But if you pay on time by the 5th, I reduce rent by $100 and it's only $1,500. What would you rather deal with, Miss Peaches? It's all the same thing. But one is rent's $1,500. If you don't pay by the 5th, I penalize you $100. If you did not know what the rent was and you're going, how much is rent? I'm inquiring about your place. It's $1,600, Miss Peaches. But if you pay by the 5th, I discounted $100, only $1,500. So it's an incentive to pay instead of a penalty late. So marketing, promotion, the person renting a house, they're getting the $1,500. But instead of the person they're renting to, by the 5th, it's a penalty if you don't pay on time. Hey, if you pay by the 5th, you get a $100 discount. They didn't know what the rent was. If it's really $1,500 rent and you're saying if I don't pay by the 5th, I'm getting penalized $100. Isn't that what you're doing? No one would think that. They'd be like, cool, $1,600 rent. If I pay on time by the 5th, I get a $100 discount. It's only $1,500. It would incentivize them to pay on time. The renter's getting $1,500 no matter what. The person renting has, oh, wow, he's cool. He's cutting me $100. It's all a positive instead of a penalty, a negative. Same outcome. So marketing and promotion, how you sell it, is important. And I think Zulu's selling it as, the way they pitch it, or excuse me, Rex. Our the king couldn't toast the queen. People are, wow, it wasn't well thought out. But if you would have said Gallier Hall, the old city hall where the mayor toasts, you didn't have to bring up the mayor. Just Gallier Hall, we get there usually by 1. We didn't get there till 2:30. 6 blocks before that, Hotel Intercontinental, that's where the queen of the court left. We were so late. That would add to it, would make it more powerful instead of less. Anyway, regardless of that, toasting the queen or not, Rex, Zulu running like 2 hours late, hour, 45 minutes late yesterday. That's unacceptable. Rex has to do better. Zulu has to do better. And I know from what I heard, record crowds at Claiborne and Orleans, down Orleans by Dookie Chase, just out of control crowds where Zulu, the floats would have trouble going at any kind of regular speed. I get it. But can't be that late. You can't have truck parades running down St. Charles Avenue, turning on Napoleon, from Napoleon onto St. Charles, and it's dark outside. The truck parades would end by 3:30, 4 o'clock, 4:30 on a normal Mardi Gras, not 6:30, 7 p.m. running at night. It's crazy. The gaps, all of it, just a little out of control. What do you think? Rouse's Markets phone line, 766-9480. Oh, boy, the crazy man on full display for the whole country to see. Clay Higgins will be one of 11 House reps in that Senate impeachment, with the Senate impeachment charges. So now we're going to get a earful of Clay Higgins nationwide. Just not good for Louisiana. Have you ever heard Clay Higgins speak? Just insane psychobabble. Just a lunatic. Not mentally correct. Not mentally correct. Look, I always get on like wacky right-wingers and loony leftists. I don't like the extremists. Clay Higgins is like needs medication. He's like crazy. He's like not mentally right. Ghost buses. I'm in law enforcement. Law enforcement knows what a ghost bus is. Google ghost bus. All you're going to get is Ghostbusters. There's no such thing as a ghost bus. Clay Higgins just made it up and ran with it. Just insane. Crazy. Needs medicine. He's our Louisiana representative on this nationwide attention. He'll be speaking. It won't be good for Louisiana. That's pretty obvious. Junket Cantrell travels to California, a really important mayor's conference. What a pile of beep. Saints to move training camp to Cal Irvine. LSU running back Trey Holly arrested in connection with a Union Parish apartment shooting. A shooting at a Union Parish apartment, I should say. Corey Johnson with you. Yeah, you right. Weird week. It is Thursday. Super Bowl, Valentine's Day, Ash Wednesday, Mardi Gras. Yes, it's Thursday.
Dave Miette Insurance Agency. Auto, home, flood, business. 504-556-0809. Dave Miette, INSagency.com. Dave Miette Insurance Agency. Auto, home, flood, business. 504-556-0809. Dave Miette, INSagency.com.
My Sittu, that's Arabic for grandmother, used to make the best football kibbe. You can experience kibbe just like my grandmother used to make, and so many other Middle Eastern favorites on the streetcar line, Lebanon's Cafe.
Ooh, la, la, that's what I said. Ooh, la, Leidenheimer, that's French for bread. Leidenheimer.
Since 1896, a true taste of New Orleans. Leidenheimer French bread.
It's time to relax. The Woodhouse Day Spa, Metro New Orleans' premier day spa experience, now with 5 area locations. For a day of relaxation or maybe just a quick 1-hour getaway, the Metro area's premier day spa experience is at the Woodhouse Day Spa. And now 5 area locations: New Orleans, Metairie, Slidell, Baton Rouge, and our newest location in Mandeville. The Woodhouse Day Spa, woodhousespas.com.
Young's Dry Cleaning has free pickup and delivery. That's right. Young's Dry Cleaning has absolutely free pickup and delivery. Home or office, East Bank or West Bank. Call Young's at 288-8381 or online at youngsdrycleaning.com. The Port of New Orleans is the gateway to global commerce, the economic engine that moves Louisiana and our country forward. For more than 125 years, Port Nola has continued to deliver the goods we use each and every day by river, rail, and by road. No matter what, it all happens right here, delivering Louisiana's future at the Port of New Orleans, your working river. Learn more about your Port of New Orleans. Visit portnola.com.
Why wear the same old glasses that everyone else is wearing? Stand out from the crowd. Come to Art and Eyes. Art and Eyes is not your typical eyeglasses store. It's one of the finest eyewear shops in the country, right here in New Orleans, with precision-engineered prescription lenses and gorgeous high-quality frames from the heart of Europe, Japan, and the United States. Our products are thoughtfully curated, and our staff are here to help you find exactly the right frames. Art and Eyes, a magazine as unique as you.
Trey Yen in Mandeville, a New Orleans tradition for over 40 years, serving the finest Louisiana-inspired Chinese cuisine. Open Tuesday through Sunday. Trey Yen.
Custom window treatments can enhance the look and value of your home. At Helm Paint and Decorating, we're proud to offer custom plantation-style window shutters by Scandia. Perfect for any window, including large frames, French doors, sliding doors, and arches. American-made SL300 shutters are available in many colors to match your personal decor. We'll come out to measure, and you'll receive fast delivery. Plus, they're virtually maintenance-free.
Helm Paint and Benjamin Moore led us steer you in the right direction.
Helm Paint and Supply.
Francesca Deli and Pizzeria has over 15 specialty sandwiches, a big 10-ounce burger, and some of the best pizza in New Orleans. Francesca Deli and Pizzeria on Harrison Avenue in Lakeview between Canal Boulevard and West End.
Yeah, you right. Crescent City and beyond. Corey Johnson back at you. Hey, are you on the Causeway Bridge maybe, tooling to the North Shore? Why don't you fire in a big to-go order at Trey Yen in Mandeville? Mom, Dad, the kids. Who would not be very pleased when you walk in the door with Trey Yen from Mandeville? One of the best seafood restaurants. You folks observing Lent? Trey Yen, one of the best seafood restaurants in Metro New Orleans. Call in a to-go order at Trey Yen. Curbside delivery or dine in. You North Shore folks know where it's at. Right at the foot of the Causeway in Mandeville. You South Shore folks, 25 short minutes from Lakeside Shopping Center to the front door of Trey Yen in Mandeville. Get some great Chinese cuisine. Not Chinese food, Chinese cuisine tonight, including some of the best seafood anywhere. Trey Yen in Mandeville, so good. It is a Thursday. Nice weather. If you can go to a restaurant where you can dine outside, do it. Rain expected tomorrow afternoon, maybe into early Saturday. Then cold front rolling in and maybe Saturday afternoon. Definitely Sunday through Wednesday, colder and sunny. Thank you, Bob Breck. Rex a little miffed at Zulu primarily, I guess. Now, Rex and Zulu get along great. There's no racial animosity here. Both crews are integrated. Rex is mostly white. Zulu's mostly black, but both are integrated. They're black members of Rex. They're white members of Zulu. There have been for decades. Decades. Those numbers grow every year. Zulu is notoriously late. That's just accepted. It's year in, year out. Breakdown, just running late. That's Zulu. That's how it goes. Just sort of accepted. Zulu starts at 8 a.m. Rex used to start at 8:30. Zulu comes up Claiborne, I should say, from Claiborne up Jackson Avenue to St. Charles. Rex comes up Claiborne, Napoleon Avenue to St. Charles. So in theory, you would think both parades could start at the same time. And by the time like Rex ran its 2 miles or so, it would run into the back of Zulu roughly. But there was a 30-minute separation. Zulu would start at 8, Rex would start at 8:30. Then it went Rex starting at 9. And then it went 9:30 and 10. And now it's like 10:30. Zulu at 8 a.m., Rex at 10:30. Rex's trip is about 2 miles longer than Zulu's by the time they get to St. Charles and Jackson. Zulu's always late, just how it is. But this year, it was really, really late. Reportedly, record crowds like on Claiborne and Orleans, slowing down the parade on its final little run towards Broad Street. Maybe longer than normal toasts at certain stops. Now, I heard the King and the Queen at Gallier Hall, they were there like less than 5 minutes. Hit and run almost. Here's where it gets bad for Zulu. They're a little unorganized, and here's why. They're 43 floats. That's fantastic. They're 43 captains. So think about that. If Zulu were a ship or a boat, it's got 43 captains. No, basically, Zulu is 43 little boats, not a big ship. And the 43 little boats have 43 captains, and they do what they want, basically. Now, I'm oversimplifying it and over-exaggerating it, but it's basically true. There are 43 different personalities. Some of these captains just sort of go with the flow. Some of them are loud and obnoxious, get hammered. Some of them want to stop every block. And some of them stop a lot to go visit friends, family, whatever. And there are huge gaps in the parade. So people that are watching Zulu, they're watching nothing maybe for 5 or 10 minutes. Nothing in front of them, just a big gap. Then the parade catches up. Or a float sitting in front of them. And after throwing for a minute, you stop saying, throw me something, mister. They stop throwing, and you're just staring at each other for 10 minutes or however long it takes. So the big gaps, the slowdowns, that's a problem. All the other parades don't have these big gaps or slowdowns. They just flow, including Rex. Now, I think where Rex went wrong, hey, the King couldn't toast the Queen. They were so late. That just sort of like, I think a lot of folks don't really care about that. Folks that understand Rex and tradition and all that do get it. But what Rex, instead, that sort of sounded like a negative in a way. Not a negative like that they're saying something negative. The perception, people are like, I don't give a crap about that. What Rex should have said is, we normally get to Gallier Hall at 1 or whatever the time would be. We didn't get there till 3, whatever the time would be. We were 2 hours later than normal. So late, in fact, the Hotel Intercontinental, about 6 blocks before Gallier Hall, the King couldn't even toast the Queen. The Queen left and her court left. They were so late. It would have been a positive. It would have added strength to the sentiment instead of it being sort of a weakness. Couldn't even toast the Queen. Like, that's our main thing. I hear you, Rex, but outside of your organization, going with Gallier Hall, the old city hall, toasting the mayor type of thing, without even mentioning the mayor, just the tradition of Gallier Hall. That's every parade. Everyone's toasting that. And then the thing about the Queen would have put like a cherry on the argument. Now I think Rex needs to. Zulu. They can have 43 captains, 43 floats, but they need a general in charge of the 43 captains, and there needs an umbrella that is Zulu, and the 43 captains are under the umbrella. You can't just stop. We're going to vote as a crew on where you can stop. And if Charlie on float number 14 stopped at his granny's for 40 years straight, and we think that's important, we're going to make that one of the stops for Charlie's float. But every captain can't just arbitrarily stop or not wherever they feel like on a whim. I think being a little unorganized, having 43 captains, that's a problem that Zulu probably needs to address. Just to be fair for everybody. I'm in Zulu, and I'm in a float that flows well, and I've got the guy in front of me that's notorious for stopping all the time. That would suck riding behind that dude. Put my float in front of Charlie, man. All he does is stop. People watching the parade, all of it. It's a, you know. What's that, Blue Boy? No one wants to sit on the parade route with nothing in front of them. No one wants to sit on the parade route with the same float in front of them for 15 minutes. Blue Boy, you're the man. Fantasy Friday tomorrow, 4 o'clock. Be there.
You're on the neutral ground with Corey Johnson on TV on Cox Channel 4 and Spectrum Channel 333. Also on YouTube, on radio at NOLA Talk 93.9 FM, WSLA New Orleans.
Hi, it's Ken Friend from Friend & Company Fine Jewelers. You've got a friend in the jewelry business. Come see us over on Maple Street in Uptown.
Friend & Company Fine Jewelers, Breitling time, 6 p.m.